you very much. We will now call this, having established a quorum, a committee quorum for this confirmation hearing for the Managing Director Designate, the Liberia Legacy Corporation, LEC. This hearing is hereby called to order. We want to take this time to invite the Reverend to please open us in devotion.
Honorable Chairman, distinguished senators, visiting guests, this afternoon we will share with you from the book of St. John chapter 21, verses 17. Jesus asked Peter, when you are about to read, said Peter, I read, Simon, he said, the third time, Son of John, do you love me? Peter was grieved because he said to him, third time, do you love me? And he said to him, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. And Jesus said, feed my lamb. This afternoon, as director designate for LEC, the question to you this afternoon is, do you love Liberia? Like our president used a slogan, if you love Liberia, you will work and put Liberia first. You should always think Liberia, you should love Liberia, and rebuild Liberia. If confirmed, Minister Destiny, I urge you to feed Liberia with courage. Most of the time, we hear in the community the Christmas lights because it come on, few hours, it go off. So think Liberia is confirmed and feed Liberia with courage. Build the capacity of Liberia in every city so that Liberia will have courage 24/7 around the clock. And depend on God to do so. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for these hearings. We pray that God will give our leaders the wisdom and the understanding to best evaluate this candidate for us. That God and will be praised. In Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll ask the Vice Chairperson of the committee to please give the welcome remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. MD Destiny, I want to take this time for the National Senate and the Committee on Hydrocarbon and Environment. I want to welcome to this all-important hearing. It's customary in our constitutional amendment, and as you come, we give you an opportunity to prove to the Latin people how important our place is. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This time we'll self-introduction by members of the committee, including other senators in the chamber. Beginning with my far left, Senator Dillon.
I'm your friend Gareth Dillon, representing Montreal County. I'm chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs, chair of the Committee on Information, co-chair of the Committee on Maritime, ranking member of the Judiciary Committee, member of this Energy Committee, and member of several other committees. Or Health Committee as well. Labor, DSC.
I'm Senator Jim Smith, I'm Rivers County, and chair of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries.
I'm Senator Chair, member of this committee. I'm representing Sano County, I'm chair on the Committee on Judiciary.
I am Senator Tapa Mabande Fatuna. I represent Grand Cape Council. I chair the Health Committee, a member of this committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Nyang D. Jr., Senator in Nimba County, Chairman of Senate Committee on Modernization, and a member of this committee.
Having received the members of the committee, having introduced themselves, we will now ask other senators in the chamber to please introduce themselves.
I'm not a member of this committee.
Yes, thank you very much. By way of housekeeping, this hearing will end at 5:45. And if there are still pending issues at 5:45, there will be a continuing this process. Having said that, we just want the audience, those in the gallery, to be informed that here in our chambers we don't share. I noticed that the managing director is here from support staff. Welcome that. We don't do sharing here. And we don't comment on top when a senator is speaking. Mr. Managing Director Designate, you will refer to senator by the portfolio. If you know the name, you can call the name or the portfolio as senator. And you will respond to a question after the senator has asked the question. You will not debate with the senator when an issue is flagged. And we expect you to be as brief as possible, or as clear as possible, let me say that, in answering the question. Before we turn over to you to do your presentation, we invite the Sergeant at Arms to administer the oath so that everything that you say and do will be done on our oath. Please administer the oath.
I, Mohammed M, Sherif,
do hereby swear
the testimony I'm about to give
is the truth,
is the truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So Chair, a member of the Committee on Hydrocarbon Energy and Environment, when I call about
Thank you. Thank you very much. At this time, Mr. Managing Director Designate, the floor is yours for your statement, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With your permission, let me, on my side, do some housekeeping. So I would like to introduce my team. At the top, we have with us here today the Deputy Acting MD for Administration, Eric. Next to Eric is Deputy Acting MD for Technical Services, Mohammed So.
Mr. Chairman,
So,
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Nominee, the company here. Yeah? You get nothing here.
okay, noted. Okay, that being said, let me quickly go into my statement. Mr. Chairman, members of the esteemed committee, members of the Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment Committee, and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohammed M, Sherif, a proud Liberian public servant and seasoned executive in the energy and infrastructure sector. with more than 15 years of experience spanning public policy, utility reform, and cross-border power development. I bring to this role a proven track record of leadership, having served as the founding general manager of Transco CLSG, where I successfully led the construction and commissioning of $550 million CLSG interconnection project, now the backbone of electricity distribution in 4 countries. That is Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. My academic foundation include dual MBAs from Cornell University in New York and Queen's University in Canada. I also have a master's degree in economic policy and management from the UN Institute, EDEPT, and a Bachelor of Science degree in statistics from Usman Danfodio University in Nigeria. I have further refined my executive and technical leadership through professional programs at some of the world's most respected institutions. Harvard University, the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, MIT Sloan School of Management, Macomb School of Business at the University of Texas, Austin, and Duke University, the IMF Institute, and the World Bank Institute. I am also a certified public project management professional. This unique blend of academic training, world experience, and international exposure has prepared me to deliver bold, accountable leadership at this critical juncture in Liberia energy transition. I appear before you today with great humility and a profound sense of responsibility. I wish to thank His Excellency, the President of Liberia, Joseph Yuma Boakai, for reposing a confidence in me through this nomination, and to extend my sincere appreciation to this honorable committee for affording me the opportunity to present both the progress made under my stewardship during my acting and a vision that will guide the transformation of the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Since assuming the role of IT Managing Director in April 2025, my immediate priority was to undertake a comprehensive assessment of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, to face the facts, however difficult it may be. And define a roadmap forward. The results of that assessment were sobering. We are confronted with a utility under severe operational and financial pressure. Total technical and commercial losses were confirmed at approximately 42%, a figure that significantly undermines LEC financial sustainability and service delivery. Our transmission infrastructure is overburdened. Key substations remain in urgent need of upgrades, and years of inconsistent performance have weakened the confidence of our customers, suppliers, and development partners. Yet, today, I am proud to report that a major turnaround is underway, thanks to a two-way track effort that combined decisive domestic action with intensified regional engagement. Under our 90-day stabilization plan, anchored on grid stability, revenue recovery, and customer service, we successfully restored 78 megawatts of critical generation capacity. This includes the Mount Coffee Hydro Unit 2, 3, and 4, combined bringing up to 57 megawatts, GOL Thermal Unit 1, 9 megawatts, and the World Bank Bushro Units 1 and 2 combined making it 5. These restorations have had an immediate and measurable impact. Impact including daily load shedding, reducing the Monserrado from 12 hours to almost 0 hours in less than 2 months. The final 2 World Bank units at the Bushro Power Plant are undergoing final testing and are expected to be fully restored by this Friday, which will further consolidate the stability. In parallel, we strengthen our engagement with Cote d'Ivoire and Guinea, securing supplemental power imports that help cover critical demand periods. The credit for this rapid improvement is shared between the internal generation recovery and these regional efforts. Together, they have made it possible to meet current demand and restore public confidence in the system. These regional discussions will continue with urgency as we prepare for the dry season, even as we work to unlock additional domestic generation, including through the proposed 270 megawatts gas power plant to be built in Buchanan, a landmark public-private partnership that, once realized, will dramatically shift Liberia generation profile toward cleaner, more reliable and affordable energy. Alongside these generations and supply efforts, we've undertaken strong internal reforms. The anti-power task force has been further strengthened, identifying over thousands of illegal connections and initiating enforcement actions that are already losing collections. These efforts are already boosting our revenue collections. We are also fast-tracking the procurement of 300,000 prepaid meters through a framework contract, with the first batch of 17,000 delivered. We are in the process of receiving a second batch of 17,000 for deployment. To underpin these reforms, we've secured development partner support for the comprehensive digital transformation, including the rollout of integrated system, ERP system, and smart grid tools to modernize LEC operations, improve service delivery, and enhance fault detection and response. Let me take this time to recognize the exceptional professionals at LEC. A team of dynamic engineers, technicians, commercial experts, and administrative staff whose work ethic and expertise are driving force behind this early momentum. They are without question the cream of the crop in Liberia's power sector. And I'm deeply proud to lead them at this pivotal moment. Honorable Senators, these early actions demonstrate the progress not only possible, they demonstrate the progress that progress is not only possible, it is happening. But we must not lose sight of the bold task. The road ahead will require sustained leadership, accountability, and close collaboration with key stakeholders, including this honorable legislature. If confirmed, I intend to lead LEC through a bold, structured transformation agenda anchored on 3 core pillars. Pillar number 1, financial viability. Reduce total system losses to below 30% within the first 3 years. Implement a cost-reflective tariff framework that ensures sustainability while protecting vulnerable customers, the poorest of the poor. And expand collection across all the segments. Pillar number 2, operational excellence. Complete the upgrade of transmission and substation infrastructure. Embed smart technology, which include a digital system to improve system maintenance billing and system reliability, and balance regional inputs with resilient domestic generation portfolio. And number 3, pillar number 3, customer-centric sitting. To reduce the turnaround time for meter installation, fault responses, and customer complaints, and invest in technology that makes service delivery transparent, accessible, and efficient. To realize this agenda, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, we will need more than internal reform. I respectfully call on this honorable committee to support the full implementation of escrow mechanism to timely settle government electricity arrears. 2, the mobilization of capital for urgent infrastructure upgrades and distribution expansion. And 3, the establishment of a robust enabling framework to attract and de-risk private investment in Liberia energy sector. Honorable Senators, the fate of Liberia's development agenda, including its industries, its schools, its hospitals, and the prosperity of its citizens, is inseparably tied to the availability of reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity. That is the challenge we face, and it is the opportunity we must seize. I stand here today to be held accountable for results and to work hand in hand with the Senate to deliver the power that we energize Liberia future. I thank you for your attention and respectfully welcome any question that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin Director, for the presentation. The committee will also be covered, so please make sure we have a copy of the presentation for our committee's deliberation. We'll now open the floor for interaction with you. Because of the importance of this sector, no senator will be restricted with time. We'll have OPNA, like I said, if we don't finish today, we'll ask for continuance. It's a very important sector, so we allow every senator to ask as many questions as you deem fit, and take all as much time as you need to carry on this hearing. Having said that, we will start with Chief Smith, who is the president.
Thank you very much, Chairman Snow. Mr. Nominee, let me first commend you for your preferment by the President. If I heard you good, I think you said you have spent more than 15 years in this sector, right? We are in the 21st century. LDC is involved in what I would want to consider 3-in-1 operation, and that is power generation, storage, and distribution, right? Okay. For effective public service delivery, do you think this trend of operation should be continued? My first concern. Our second concern, let me just tell it to you. You said, and I quote, I stand here to be held accountable. That was your closing statement, right? I didn't hear you telling me anything about rural electrification. What is in store for the rural people? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Senator Smith from Sano County. Did I get it right? Riverside. Okay, my apologies for that. Yeah. Okay, the unbundling of LEC. True. Your question was, do you think we are on the right path where we are going? I can tell you, Mr. Honorable Senator, that given the current leadership and given what we are doing now with our strategic plan, based on our full assessment that we've conducted and the pinpoint bottlenecks we've identified, and with your support from the Honorable Legislature, I can commit to say with confidence that with all the support that we are on the right track to making electricity affordable, reliable, and available to the Liberian people based on our trajectory in 5 years' time. So now, coming to the generation, LECs in generation, people talk about unbundling to give distribution out. Were you to give that out, take it from LEC, you kill LEC. Because the transmission infrastructure, you get less than 300 kilometers, no revenue out of it. I came from Transco. We are a transmission company. We get only 2 cents on just transmitting wheeling charge. If LEC were to go to that route, you don't have enough capacity. Your installed capacity is less than 2,000 megawatts, less than 200. What are you depending on? Your generation is not much. You kill LEC. And those private sectors you are bringing to unbundle, they need to invest. And any investor, they will think about recouping their investment. How do I get? And that is where they do cost reflected tariff. That means they put the tariff price into the charges they're charging the citizen. Now we are charging social tariff around 15 to 16 cents. That would be around, you tripling it to 35 to 40 cents. Then you're shooting yourself in the legs. So what we are saying, let us first try this model, the business model. We'll go 2-3 years, we observe to see whether we will not bring it down. Once that is not done, we can charge another alternative cost. But I can assure you, the way we've started, moving with the generation LEC, we are expanding. We are on a trajectory that we believe that a better days ahead. Then the second question on rural electrification. On the CLG line, fortunately, Liberia has got a backbone throughout the entire country. When we were heading the CLG, we built 5 substations in Liberia. The Kepa substation is mainly for Nimba County, part of the southeast, then Botota. Personally, I had to make that case to ensure KFW put a substation in Bon County so that Lufa could get electricity, and as far as in the southeast. So coming to Bikia now, the substation there for Grand Bassa Riverside going to Sano. Then you come to Moserado, the largest substation, which is the Mount Coffee substation. That is the entire Moserado County. Now Mano substation for Bomi, Cape Ma, and Bakolo. We can connect through that. Part of my vision is the next 5 years, we begin to start high voltage transmission on 66 kV line to connect all those places. This is what during the just concluded spring meeting, when the Minister of Finance was discussing the issue of Banga to Menekama Highway to Vonjama, we made a case for connection. Roads cannot go without electricity. Fortunately, the Saudi agreed. We are in our process of doing the feasibility to include from Bon County all the way to Lufa to build that system. So, to answer your question directly, we are going to connect the rural county. Already, there are visible signs. We just got a no objection from the Minister of Energy to connect River Cess, some part of Sano, about 3,700 customers. We just got that to connect those folks under the AFDB rural electrification process. So we have not forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nominee, I want to begin by congratulating you for your deferment in this role. Welcome you once again to the Liberian Senate. In your bio data, you stated that you work with CRSG. What was your portfolio? CLSG. What was your portfolio?
The first general manager.
That should be a very prestigious international job.
Yes.
With very attractive benefits.
Yes.
What is your motivation to leave, such an attractive job to take LC?
That is an important question, Senator Yan. Thank you for the question. What really motivated me? Love of country. When I go out, I see other countries, beautiful, electricity constant. And I come back to Liberia and see electricity going off 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. I feel really bad for myself, for the ordinary people, for even business people. So I felt to myself, even though you're right, very attractive, in this current position, I'm getting a 65% cut in salary, not even benefit, just salary. And before coming to this job, I had to leave a job that would have given me almost close to 7 figures, but I left it. But love of country brought me to help this country electricity settle. So mainly the love of country to contribute my own quota. And I see success, I consider success when I see school-going children having electricity to study, hospitals lit up. I see business in Farm to Market Road, they can preserve their produce through refrigerators. I see businesses, cost of production very low, and that has multiplied import, not just on their own business, employment, so many things. If I'm to speak, I'll go all on. So for love of country, to really contribute my own quota to the country.
Thank you.
Okay.
Why it doesn't matter, I used to be on the LEC board. I was there for maybe I think 3 or 4 years. The issue with LEC has never been totally the issue of funding. It has not also been the issue of having, strategies on the books. I think by and large, you can attribute it to management issue to some extent. You will be working with a group of people, deputies. I guess in a short time, we've seen progress. We've seen some of the things that you've been doing. But I just want to know your personal ability to work with other people. You could be as good as what, but you are only as good as the weakest link on your team. What plans do you have to break away from this old age thing in LEC that I witnessed firsthand, with board and management clashing, with MD and deputies on different page? What would be the new model for tranquility and cordiality for progress?
Thank you, Senator Young. I agree with you. If you really want to succeed, you need to work with people. There is this 80-20 rule that 80% you have to work with the people. And as I come into the position, I have a philosophy. When I'm leading people, I give people the autonomy to work, give you the tools, the support, but I hold you accountable. That is not negotiable. When I took over as acting MD at LEC, I did visit everywhere. From Waterside, I went to Bush Road, and one message was clear. If you can deliver result, do not worry. Go and do your job. We are here to deliver. And the Liberian people need electricity yesterday. I made that clear to everybody. And another principle I have, when you see the house on fire, the first thing, off the fire before you can think what caused the fire. So the emergency alarm was raised when I met with the entire team here. We saw the radar red. We needed to have a singular focus, and that was to reduce the 12 hours to almost zero. And when I say on radio talk show that by the end of June we will go zero, people thought we were joking. So in the night, sometime 1, 2 a.m., I called folks from the Man Coffee, Bush Road, and sometimes nobody expected I go to your office. What do you need? If you don't support the tools, but I hold you accountable. So once you develop that culture of accountability, transparency, trust me, there are people, and I can say with confidence now, you have good people working in LEC. And all they need, they just need a shot. He gave them a shot. And there are some people, they may not be committed, but they just need certain recognition to be committed. And there are some people, you just need to train them, bring them on board. So we've been through our own comprehensive assessment. We've been able to identify, pinpoint some of those bottlenecks. How do we remove those bottlenecks? Come with a kind of strategic reform, but be tactical in doing so. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you. What is Liberia's total energy demand right now?
Right now, when you take out the mining potential that are supposed to be connected, like Casella, B Multi, when you take them because they are not connected to the grid, our peak load now, when I took over, is around 94, 96, but now it's around close to 120, 125 because the confidence is building. So we are going pretty close to 130 megawatts.
130 megawatts. How much is Mount Coffee producing now?
Mount Coffee will have 3 turbines operating now, each about 18. There are 20 actually because of redundancy. So it's to be on the safe side, we allow 18, 57 megawatts.
How many turbines in total should be on?
It's supposed to be 4, but 1 turbine was done since 2021. It's been 4 years, and this is where I spoke the last time for Liberian people to be patient with us. Whenever we see our SCADA, that last week there was some low shedding, people thought that, oh, fuel finished here. No, fuel did not finish. When there was a tripping on the CLSD line, the Mount Coffee, there was total blackout. Right there was SCADA, something like an exclamation mark to tell you that there's something. So we shut down the system to review, to understand what happened. If you continue to rush to operate, when danger happens, you go like what happened with the first unit. First unit got down, 5 years up to now, it's not yet fixed. We're spending tens of millions of dollars. To avoid that, we went 1 week to restore it. Now it is restored. So 3 turbines, 18, close pretty much to 57 megawatts.
When do you hope to get the 4th turbine?
In 12 months, we started counting in May.
How much are you getting from outside? How many megawatts?
We have a contract with Côte d'Ivoire, 50 megawatts signed, but we can go beyond that. Even though we have contracts signed under the power purchase agreement, but they are not obligated to give all the 50 based on our own record with them. In the past, we were not forthcoming, settling our debts, and so usually they used to give 5, 10, 15. But based on our own regional network and our credibility along the line, when we took over, we talked with the folks in Côte d'Ivoire, we were getting 50, sometimes 60, 55, up to now. We're still getting more. Then Guinea, we talked with Guinea, we signed power purchase with Guinea, 25 to 30 megawatts. So Guinea is giving 30. When you put 50 and 30, that's 80 megawatts. And you combine that with Mount Coffee 57 and the Bushro, the GOL 1 unit that is up, 9 megawatts. The JICA 2 unit, 8 megawatts. The World Bank 2 unit, 5 megawatts. When you put all those 18, you add it, you pretty much close low shedding 0. That's where we are going now.
Yeah, because that's what it should. You said 94 for the total.
That was there, but now it is more than that. We are 130 now, the peak demand.
Okay.
It's increasing. Now we are adding industries. SETI, we are adding different largest users. So the peak demand increases. Our projection in the next 2-3 years will be close to 400 megawatts. And this is why we are working with the private sector to put 270 megawatt gas turbine in Buchanan. In the clock started ticking in April. We signed a term sheet in April for that. So the clock has started ticking. In about 18 months' time, we should have the first 140 megawatts available. And that is a combined gas that will come through LNG, liquefied gas. It comes in a liquid form. You re-gasify it back to natural gas. You fire it out to get energy. Now, 12 months after, you will have combined cycle. The price will drop by 20 to 30%. So instead of 12 cents, you come down to 8 cents.
Has it already started?
Yes, we signed a term sheet already. We are currently negotiating the power purchase agreement.
You talk about bushwork. That's the HFO, right?
Yes, sir.
How are you getting it in the country? Because there has been a historical pattern of getting the heavy diesel fuel in the country.
Yeah.
So, what is the situation like? Are we going to reach a place where we say, okay, you know what, we don't have a shape or story for the HFO again, so bushwork is down, so we'll have maybe less amount of power again?
No.
What's the plan to sustain heavy diesel coming in?
Yeah, that's what 100%. That's what we said. We did our assessment, and through this assessment, it sort of trigger our own strategic plan. And part of that plan is to prepare before it can start raining. And part of that preparation, we've just launched bidding process for the HFO supply. Already we have an existing contractor that will be ending soon. That supplier usually supplies a framework contract. They supply HFO, and HFO is something that it's not something you just bring for anybody to buy. It's specialized. Only GOL and SETI use HFO, so no business will bring it and just keep it. You have to have a contract with them. But we are unbundling it to open the market, and we've done so. Currently, the evaluation is ongoing.
Okay, Mr. MD, those were my active questions. I would just like to close by saying, thank you. I've been having, on a personal level, the resident brother and my home. I have lasted 2 managing directors. We spoke briefly with me 24 hours. Today is my first anniversary at my house to use LEC and text to you. We hope that, no, this is serious, yeah. So we hope that you will do well in your performance here today to convince other senators who will be consulting to have you confirm. Thank you for taking my questions. And Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you for the talk. I'm sure LEC will extend to ask on that soon. Senator Augustine Chief, followed by Senator Darius Dillon.
Mr. Nominee.
Yes, sir.
Welcome again. In your statement in chief, you alluded to the issue of power tech. How much of a challenge in terms of your revenue collection and sustainability is that problem now?
Thank you, Senator Sherif. It is a significant challenge on our part because as we bring, for every $1 we bring, or for energy, we are charging within 62 cents. About 38, 38 cents or something like that to 42 cents loss, both technical and commercial. But commercial being the highest is a serious challenge. A lot of people bypassing meters, and the power we are bringing from outside, we pay for them. If you don't pay, they cut you off. The reason why they have not cut us off, we are around huge, tens of over $10 million we owed. We have over 20, but we've been reducing the last week we paid 4.5 a week before we pay. So we are moving on the not cut off, but the power theft is alarming. And this is why I indicated in my statement, we strengthen the anti-power theft with mirror draw, and also what we are also doing, we're doing mass metering.
What that means, Honorable Senator, is that we go to your places, we identify those that are connected. You see them connected, about 1,338. Out of that, 355 just pay. The rest just free. So we reconnect you, and when we are reconnect you, we have a geo identification process now. Even though we didn't want to say A, but I will say A here. We are going to identify people by geolocation. We lock it in through the coordinates. We link your meter through the coordinates, and we're going through the bidding process to have smart metering. We stay at our office, we look at you. If you are connected, you have electricity, but you are not vending. You do have electricity, but you are not vending. Vending means you are not using the token, but you are using the electricity. So we can shut you down. So it is challenging. That's why we continue to ask the Liberian people, you see something, say something. It is ugly for you to pay. Your neighbor is using electricity, is not paying, or she is not paying. If everybody gets connected, you will be disconnected because of your neighbor. So say something if you see something. It is a challenge, Honorable Senator. And with your support, everybody's support, we intend to really move aggressively to reduce that through our loss reduction strategy, mass metering, strengthening power theft, and improving our grade through modernization and smart metering.
So how much of that is due to technical? How much of that is due to technical?
Yeah, 15%. Yeah, distribution is around 10%, generation is around 5%. So combined 15%, which is high. Then the commercial is 27%. When you combine oil, 42%. That's very high.
So what are you doing differently from what your predecessors did in terms of dealing with the issue of power?
The issue of power theft and everything. Oh yeah, I just said that, Honorable Senator, effective leadership and to ensure that when you come, you take over. Transformation is not easy. It's not easy for transformation. A lot of people will hate you along the way. But what I said as a matter of leadership principle, I gave you the autonomy to work. I gave you all the support. First, I assess what is going on. Because without knowing what is going on, it will be difficult for you to intervene. I was privileged to be in a sector for over 10, 15 years. We've been working with LEC over the years. So there are some, I had knowledge on them, but I needed to do deep dive. When we took over, we started to deep dive. But we started to first do our 90-day action plan, and part of that action plan was to get some quick wins. And the quick wins included identification of additional power to reduce that load shedding. So the leadership we brought on board was to identify the team, work with them, assure them, motivate them, inspire them. And I can say, these folks you see behind there, they are hardworking folks. And they are ready waiting to work if you can give them the support and the tools. That's the, I think that they would tell you maybe that's the difference. I wouldn't say that because I wasn't here. But that's what I brought on board, Honorable Senator.
Thank you. We had your predecessor here many times. And there have been an issue of
your response time to deal with customers' complaints. Sometimes there's a lack of meters. Sometimes something gets faulty. They call you, you don't show up. Some customers don't even have meters. They want meters. They have the capacity to pay, but there are no meters. So that compels them to go the other way, and that accounts for what we have heard from many of our people. And issue we have also confronted your predecessor with that he said he would deal with. I hope you are also dealing with that. But the meter issue, meters are available, customers want meters, they can't get meters. Sometimes meters are faulty, sometimes the line has a problem, and nobody's available. So people come, and so because no meters, they get people to connect them anyway because they need the electricity. They need the electricity. So they get people to connect them anyway. And so in most of the communities I go, including in my own community, there are a lot of people who don't have meters, but who have electricity. How are you doing? I'll come to that later on.
Okay, Honorable Senator, thank you. I agree with you. I will be the first to tell you that if people can't get the meters, if they can't get you response, they will do it the way they can get it. And that's what we identified before even coming on board. And this is why we fought hard to really cut. That's the first necessary condition.
Let me add that even my very self, in this position, I have what you call it, three-phase meter wiring system. I pay a lot of money, but whenever I have problem, I call your people many times. Nobody will come. Nobody will come. Sometimes for a week.
Okay.
For a week, yeah. So it's something you really need to look at.
Yeah, and this is what I said in my statement. We have a framework contract for 300,000 meters. Those meters will ultimately be changed to smart meters. And part of that whole process, we have three strategic objectives. The first one being financial viability of LEC. That's one key thing we need to do. We need to have operational excellence. The only way you have that, you have to respond to people, and the transmission generation we've been talking about. Then the last one is the customer centricity, how you deal with customers. We've been fighting hard to really, in the absence of a smart grid, in the absence of an automation system, we've been improvising to really respond to customers. Things beginning to improve, but we are not complacent. I continue to tell the team, do not remove your feet from the pedals. Let us keep on accelerating. Do not waste. That's why some of the senators told you within this particular gathering that when they did approach us, we immediately respond. But that person is the senator. What about the little man down there? We are looking at that.
That's beside the point I wanted to make. Because that will happen to me, or that will happen to me. That happens to
the ordinary man. And this is what we're trying to unbundle.
Yeah. Yeah. So the response time thing has to.
We are working on that. Yeah. And noted.
And one of the things too, I think you should look at, we also discussed with your predecessor the issue of decentralization of power distribution. Are you decentralization of power distribution? Are you also looking at that? Yeah. So that at least you have zones. You know, you have info station here, there, instead of all the way there in Marshall. I will not call specifically where I am in Marshall. All the way there in Marshall, we'll call Waterside or whatever, Bushville Island. Somebody will come from all the way there to service my problem. You know, there's a need for efficiency. It's very important for efficiency to look at the issue of decentralization of distribution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The rest of my time.
Senator Dillon, you have the floor. Reminder, this hearing will be closing at 5:45. If we're not done by 5:45, there will be continuance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Nominee? Yes, sir. I went outside 2 times. I see people downstairs, Liberians, with banner. Your picture is big on it. They give to support you. As far as they know, confirm the man. Most people in the gallery, they came to support your confirmation. So sometimes even if we ask a question that seems annoying to them, they will get annoyed with us for doing our work. But when LEC goes out, they will say that the senator confirmed that man and that the senator will do it. That's a we carry back. So we'll do our work. I've gone through your 90-day action plan. It's from April 1 to June 30. June 30 is a few days from now. Should I take it that your 90-day action plan is an enticement for us to confine you? Because
you respond now, or when you're done?
yeah, after I'm done talking. Your confirmation is between now and June 30. After June 30, should we confirm you? I don't see anything about your vision for after June 30. Where is it? Your vision for after June 30? Question.
Okay, Honorable Senator, thank you, Senator Dillon. I want you to consider my 90-day action plan as 90-day action plan, as any leader would do. Part of the package submitted to you, you have a 2-page with you. That is a 5-year vision. Everything is included there. When you read that, you will see it there. No, it is attached.
Where is it?
It's there.
I got another plan.
No, we submitted all along with that. 35.
So who
Yeah.
will submit?
Huh?
I got
We-
another
we- we-
plan.
we-
I
yeah.
read another plan.
No, we did. It was
something
attached.
like this. Why are you holding up? Why are you holding up? Yeah.
Yeah, it's attached. Yeah, when you read that, you will see the vision, and part of that vision, Honorable Senator, we indicated that in order to make LEC financially viable, there are things that we need to do. First, in the 90 days, we need to do assessment, comprehensive assessment, to know where we are as LEC. From that assessment, we got to go. The assessment will tell, where are the bottlenecks, where are the pinpoints.
So how did you see, and what is the success story of the 90-day plan?
The success story is fantastic. The 90-day action plan has been able to tell us where LEC is. It has been able to help us. We are having our retreat on Thursday. We have a draft organizational structure, modernizing LEC. We have a draft strategy for 5 years, and we also have digital strategy. What we tell how to go digitization, a clear pinpoint where we need to intervene to upgrade, because all the ports you see, so where we're going to replace to metal pole, the transmission infrastructure 22 kV you have in Morovia. You don't even have 33. So how we're going to modernize that to 33, 66, 132, so that in case investors want to come, they don't have to worry. You already have the base. So those are things that the 90 days have been able to really help us to be able to identify. And part of that 90 day was to also get power from Cote d'Ivoire to cut down the load shedding, where today people are enjoying electricity today going almost 0 hours. It was part of the 90-day action plan.
Mr. Nominee,
Yeah.
should I count you lucky that you were nominated and you were acting with racism? This is an elementary equal request.
Okay, let us, yeah, I agree. For the sake of conversation, let us say I'm lucky, rainy season. One coffee produced 57 megawatts, and your demand is 130. Do the math. Where the gaps will come from, and the bush rate is giving you less than 20. You have a gap of over 50 megawatts. Where do you get it from? The installed capacity, Mount Coffee, rainy season, 3 units, turbines.
How did you inherit that?
I inherited just 1 unit was on.
So what I'm talking about the capacity. So
The capacity was 80 megawatt at Mount Coffee.
LEC as a whole.
LEC as well, let me calculate now. No, you want it to be conversational, that's why I'm responding. Or I can wait when you're done there and answer. Which one do you prefer? No, I'm going to follow your lead.
You listening to me?
Yeah.
They are dropping the video. They all here, Liberia. My vote is dependent on the phone.
Honorable Senator, I will follow your lead.
What do you inherit from at LEC? when it comes to megawatt, the total megawatt LEC, what do
Do you want me to answer now? No, I have to be guided. Yeah. When I talk, you say I'm talking. So, should I wait when you finish all your question or which one?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Nominee, you sound condescending to the senator. I don't allow that.
My
Will not argue with the senator. You have the right to ask a question.
My apologies.
When he lands, you proceed. Even me, when I land, you can something. Yes, Senator.
Okay, sir. No, sir.
Senator, do not please proceed.
And I apologize, Mr. Chair. Okay.
Mr. Nominee, what was the megawatt capacity, the entire LEC that you inherited? So let me have you question.
18 megawatts man coffee. Then Bush Row, GOL number 19 megawatts, 18 plus 9, that's 27. The Jacka 2 megawatt 8, 27 plus 8, that will give you 35 megawatts. The other units were down. So we needed to intervene to prepare those ones to bring them. And at the time, we had about 96 demands. That's why you used to have 12 hours load shedding, because you had no option to shut people off.
Mr. Nominee, how many megawatt of power did you inherit?
35.
Simple. From your own assessment and from your expertise, your knowledge of, what do we need to do? How many megawatt of power do we need to settle our problem in Liberia?
It is evolving. In fact, I need to tell you, we need 200, and after 1 month, you have 300 demands. You need 300, so it's evolving. Now, we are 130 at peak demand, so we need, base load guarantee, we need 150.
And then we'll get to 150, then we'll
As the demand increases, it will increase generation.
So currently, what is the capacity?
Which capacity?
Megawatt.
The installed capacity?
What is the capacity, generating capacity right now, LEC, to supply?
Okay, let me repeat. Markov 57, Bush Row around 22. So when you add it to around 82.
So in order to reach to 150, as you vision, what do we need to do?
This is why we are working with the private sector, with RPPs, and I just indicated that we are working with Gen Z to build 270 megawatts in Buchanan as a gas power plant. That will be 270. The first 140 will be available in 15 months. That will solve our base load problem. Then in addition to that, we are working with Energy America, all different private sector investors, solar thermal plants to increase generation.
So LEC is doing a generation.
Yes.
And doing a distribution.
Yes.
And supply everything.
No, the 2015 laws permit LEC to be the off-taker. When you partner with an IPP that will come to do generation, LEC is the owner off-taker. And the reason is that to make LEC viable, because we are not charging the true reflected tariff with the citizen out there. The actual tariff is supposed to be over 35 cents. We are charging 50 cents. Somebody has to fill that gap. And the only way we fill that gap, the margin we put on, say for instance, ArcelorMittal is, when we bring in Jezza from Buchanan, ArcelorMittal take 30 megawatt or 90, the 2 cents or 3 cents we're going to add on behalf of LEC, that's the one we use to fill that gap. So that's why LEC is the off-taker, but LEC is not the...
Currently, is LEC generating electricity and the same time supply?
Yeah.
Should we unbundle?
You unbundle, you kill LEC.
How? Why?
Because when you unbundle, what that technically means, you are telling LEC to depend on a generation that is not enough, install capacity very low, transmission capacity very low, no money to even maintain. And those that you unbundling, you are not prepared for that. Any investor that come to invest in the transmission land, they will front load their investment profit and they will be reflected in the tariff they will charge. So you will shoot yourself in the legs.
What happened in Lima with Jungle?
Jungle, what is happening in Jungle? It was built by the EU, WAP. I was part of that process. donors contributed to build that whole infrastructure. We LEC turned it over to Jungle. Jungle did not build the line. Jungle did not build the infrastructure. Any investor you invite now, they have to build the infrastructure. So Jungle met the transmission line that were there. So they did need. Let me finish.
The LEC generated power, and you unbundle the authority of LEC, power granted to LEC by law, and you take distribution supply from LEC and put it into private entity. It will kill LEC?
Yes.
That's the story. How?
I just told you that. I just explained to you.
Okay, let me say it again. We are telling you, when you do that, you are telling LEC that the distribution that LEC can get money to upgrade their transmission line, to upgrade their infrastructure, to make sure that the citizens get the social tariff will not happen. You are giving it to private sector. They are going to charge citizens the cost reflected tariff, and that will be high. You'll be shooting yourself in the leg. Liberia has not reached that position where you unbundle like Ghana or Rwanda, other places, even Cote d'Ivoire, they did not unbundle that. You understand? So if you do that and you are not ready, you are killing LEC. You are also suffering the citizen to charge a higher tariff.
If LEC generates the surplus power, and put a cap on what the private entity can charge in terms of distribution, without killing LEC?
LEC doesn't do that. You have the regulatory authority.
Exactly.
And when they do that,
LEC also increase the tariff. The regulatory authority can say no, correct?
yeah.
Good. Why do you think national regulatory authority cannot regulate a private entity that wins distribution,
Then the private-
that wins distribution where LEC generates the power?
Then the private sector has, yes.
The hearing is closed on the to start 45. We'll inform you on the next schedule.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this. The chairman of the